Hey guys, Adam here. Today we're going to apply PPF to this table on the customer. We already did the full kitchen in a surface PPF to help prevent from those damages, heat burns, overspills. It's very easy to clean. Now this is very profitable and awesome service you should be offering for window tinting and applying PPF. Now down below we have the difference between PPF and surface PPF, and we also have how to determine what to charge your customer per service. So first we need our prep. So our prep is we want to make sure that this is completely clean. Now with PPF, we want to make sure we have no contaminants in the area. Just like we do with automotive, we're going to start with our slip solution, clean everything, use an isopropyl alcohol, clay bar, and wipe everything down. Then we'll go in and we'll show you how to actually apply this PPF. So first thing I'm going to do is spray down my entire table here. We're just using a soap and water mix, about 1 pump of baby soap, 2 distilled water, overlapping strokes. Then we're going to spray down our table again. Now we're going to use a clay bar to take out any kind of contaminants that we may have on that table. Now with the clay bar as well, these tables hold a lot of residue and all that kind of stuff. Make sure we clay bar the entire table off. I think you can see here we got a lot of stuff on this table that we're picking up. Make sure that we get all those edges down. Then we're going to spray it one more time and squeegee. Now, right before we actually apply our PPF, we want to use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. I'm going to use 70%, 1 part isopropyl alcohol, 3 parts water. Here, my table, just going to wipe off everything. Make sure to pick up any kind of contaminants that may be left over before we apply the PPF. And now we're going to do one more slip, going to spray it down and squeegee it off. We just did our alcohol spray, and spray everything up, making sure that we exhaust all that kind of extra residue off this table we have here. Now I can do this another couple of times. I'm going to overlap the strokes and make sure we get everything kind of off the table. Now we're going to install our PPF. So before we want to have the wet surface. Now again, I'm using my Swiss baking combination where I'm using 1 pump of baking soap to my actual water. Now we have our PPF already. Now we don't know PPF, we have a cap sheet on the top. Then we have a release slider or our piece here. So I'm going to take off this side here. We're going to take off our cap sheet first. We do want to install this without that cap sheet on the film. Put that cap sheet out. Now let's spray it down just to make sure that we get any kind of dirt or debris. Now I'm going to take off our release slider. We'll put the cotton roll into it. And as I pull it down, I'm going to take our piece of PPF, outlay it over top. We're going to make sure that we have all our gaps for overlap here, overlap here, overlap here. Now before I take a squeegee to this piece of PPF, I'm going to spray it down. And with my hand, I'll wipe up all these big pockets I may have in that film. Now ready to squeegee. Okay, spray the top down. I'm going to work in quadrants. So I'm going to split this in 2. Cross this way, then I'm going to come down the center. We're just applying just a little bit of pressure through that actual PPF through here. Once I make my X, I'm overlapping strokes, pushing everything away from the middle of our surface. Now I do one more hard squeeze here. I'm going to spray off my top of my table, hand over hand, pushing out as much of that extra slip that I may have in between the table and the film. Okay, so now we've got the top locked up. Now on the other side, so there's two ways that I can cut this film. I can either cut it right on the edge here, or I can bring it down and overlap it down across here. Then we're gonna trim it. So let's go on this side. We're gonna anchor this down. I'm gonna do my cut right below there so it looks seamless on the actual table. So on this side here, I'm gonna pull this down and I'm gonna squeegee out across the side, across here. Now with these corners here, I just do a slight cut just so we get them right through here. Now we have our table completely done. We tucked all the edges, so I just went through and cut everything across down here. We tucked it in. You may want to let it dry. We have a little bit of silk solution come through here, so let it dry for a couple hours. Then we're gonna come through and kind of bring that and get it tucked down right here. Next thing before we have the customer is we're going to actually wipe everything down to see how it looks. We have a nice gloss. It's going to protect it, and anything that drops on here, I dropped a little bit of soda on this thing. It's going to bead right off. You can actually just wipe it right off, totally clean. So if you're not offering Surface PPF in your shops right now, what it does is a great add-on service. Down below, we have the difference of a Surface PPF versus an actual gloss or matte PPF we use for automotive. Major difference is the heat resistance and how some Tack to materials like marble or slabs. So again, pricing is down below. We have all the information down there. It's a very easy install. Biggest thing is going to be your prep. Make sure everything's clean, remove the contaminants, oils, and any excess debris that maybe you have on here. Lay down the top. Then we get our edges. We're going to cut right down below those seals. So two-way cuts. I can either cut it right directly on this line here, or I can bring that down and tuck it down below and bring it over down across. Now, I hope you really liked that video. We actually take this to your business. We have a bunch of free resources down below how you can actually install this, market it, and quote it to make more money buying PPF.